Hey everybody, welcome to JenTalks. And as you can see, the title is You Better Watch Out. It reminds me of that Christmas song, you better watch out, you better not shout. So I'm thinking about us watching out for each other. I talked last week about how to support people as they were struggling if they weren't okay. And I only really kind of scratched the surface about kind of being there for people in a non judgmental, compassionate way. And so tonight is a little bit about that, a little bit kind of coming back to that, but it's also about the idea of us losing our heads in this busy season, regardless of whether you celebrate Christmas or not. This time of year can be a challenging time for everybody. I mean, globally, well, particularly in Europe and the Western part of the world, we're facing crazy weather changes. I mean, regardless of whether you believe in climate change or not. And of course, also on the flip side of that, on the eastern side of the world, there's absolutely scorching temperatures and droughts. So we're faced with the results of what's happening with our climate, regardless of what we believe to be the cause of it, and it's challenging to say the least. So when we hit these periods in time, whether it's December or January, or as we head into the extreme temperatures on either side of the hemisphere, it really plays havoc with that conscious collective energy. There's the energy of fear, the energy of stress. It exists regardless of whether we actually recognize it or not, or believe in it, and that comes with its own challenges. So I suppose what I would like, the point I'd like to get across tonight is that we would keep an eye out for people, keep an eye out for your neighbors, for your friends. If there's somebody that you'd normally see walking their dog on a regular basis and you don't notice them, or maybe somebody isn't picking up the phone, just to go that little bit further and try and reach out to them. Because regardless of your religious beliefs, this time of year can be challenging. And it is the season to be looking after each other and keeping an eye out for each other, as opposed to all the to-do lists that we write for ourselves and all the stress that it invokes. And one of the biggest ways that I find builds connection with people, and this is from my own experience working as a coach, and particularly I get this feedback working as a trainer. The people say to me all the time, when I share my own, I suppose, challenges, when I can relate to them, I can be completely honest and completely authentic with them about my own experiences. It helps them to see that, they're not the only people going through the trouble that they are. Now, I don't mean in an overpowering, like, oh my God, you have a broken leg, I've got two broken legs. What I mean by that is, if people say to you that, they're struggling because they have financial worries, or they're carrying grief, or, you can just agree with them, and if you have any understanding of that, and say, yeah, I can understand that must be very difficult. I know what grief feels like. I know it's different for everybody, but I know I remember what it was like to struggle like that, or I struggle like that myself from time to time. And that understanding of what it is they're going through is your way of building connection. So don't be afraid to be really honest with people that you're trying to connect with, because that's where empathy lives. We cannot connect with people if we cannot connect with our own emotions. And that's what empathy is. Empathy is not feeling for the person, like, so somebody feels sad, so we feel sad for them because it must be terrible to, not be able to visit their dad on Christmas or whatever it might be. It's actually tipping into your own emotion. So they're telling you that they're feeling grief or they're feeling loneliness. It's tipping into an emotion that's similar. Say, oh God, I remember when I was lonely when I went to college, or I remember when I was grieving, how difficult that was for me. So it's connecting in with yourself in order to build connection with another human being. And when we have the ability to connect in with ourselves, that builds connection with others. So even when there's no words between us, even when we're just sitting in that person's company, being in their energy field, which is everybody's energy field stretches a minimum of 8 feet wide. And that's according to the Math Institute. That's where the research comes from that. So, you feel people's energy, you can be in other people's energy. So I often say some of my favorite people in the world are people I can sit with and I don't even have to speak. They don't have to speak, I don't have to speak, and we're just content. So words don't always have to be present, but energy is always present because we can't help it. We're always emitting a frequency or an energy field. And when we are closely connected with somebody, particularly if we are making eye contact with them, but even sometimes not, when we're just literally in their energy field, we're connected to what we call their limbic system. And when we connect with somebody's limbic system, we can actually feel what they're feeling and they can feel what we're feeling. That's the power that we use in coaching. It's definitely something I use in training, and it's something that we all use as human beings, but most of us are very unaware of it. We just are not aware that we're actually picking up energetic signals as well as all of the other visuals and body language that we pick up as well. So the idea is that if we stay present and connected to ourselves, and we keep an eye out for people to see, if there are people that are struggling or suffering, that we can show them compassion and we can make a difference to somebody's life. I always say, everybody can't do everything. Like one person can't do everything. Sorry, I correct myself. One person can't do everything, but everybody can do one thing. So if you just kind of set yourself, between now and the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever you choose, you're going to keep an eye out and maybe do one thing that might make somebody's life a little bit easier, or they keep a little bit of an extra eye. And it's always the people that you least expect, that have everything's fine, like the swan gliding across the lake, and they look so elegant and under control, and then underneath the legs are like paddling like mad. I was one of those people. I was, the Wonder Woman juggling all the balls, making everything look like it was just so easy. And underneath it all, there was a lot of struggle that caused me sometimes my physical health, definitely my emotional health over the years, affected my mental health, until I learned that it's okay to just say, oh, Jesus, yeah, it is tough, rearing a big family, or it is tough juggling a business, or it is tough, without kind of sounding like, that you have to be in victim mode or in martyr mode. Just being honest and being real. Because when we are real and authentic, it gives people around us permission to be real, to say, yeah, it is tough being a mom sometimes, or it is tough being, a teacher or a lone parent or a business owner, or whatever it might be that you're struggling with. Or and it gives people, it opens up the conversation, that people don't have to fake that everything's wonderful. Let's paint on a smile for Christmas, and regardless of whether you have any money in the bank or you're worried about your heating costs, that you just paint on a smile and everything's wonderful. It's okay to say, yeah, I am terrified, I am sad, I am lonely, and reach out to people and share with them how you're feeling, so that they can be honest and connect with their own feelings as well. And it's not that you're expected to have the answers. If it's anything, it's even more beautiful to just not try and find the answers, to just be present and say, I remember spending Christmas by myself and how difficult it was. And to be honest with you, I don't have any answers for you. I just know that I look back now, and those years make me grateful for the years I have now, for example, So it's like thinking about those kind of connections that you can make with people. So really my message is to you is to keep an eye out, watch out for loved ones, neighbors, friends, colleagues. Just keep that little bit of an extra eye out for people that might be struggling, and reach out to them and connect with them, and connect with them by connecting with yourself first, and being real and authentic, and offering your support, offering your ear, even just offering your presence. Just be the best present you can give somebody is your actual presence. So to be present, so turn up, show up, be there when even they might say, no, I don't need anything. Just knock on the door and have a cup of tea, or pick up the phone and have a phone call. You'd be amazed at the difference it makes to people in their lives. And if you do come across anybody on your travels that are out on the street, that are unfortunately homeless, or without any resources this year, please stop and talk to them. If you don't agree with giving them money, you can buy them a sandwich. I gave somebody some vouchers, and when I mean vouchers, I mean the little free things that you get on your cup of tea from McDonald's. I've been saving them, about 5 or 6 of them in the car, gave them to a lady the other day, and because I didn't have any cash, but I know that that cup of tea will go a long way. But most importantly, what will go even further is the fact that I spoke to her like she was a human being. So remember that it's not just the people that we know, it's also the people that we might not know yet that are out there that might need that little bit of extra TLC. And everybody's capable of sparkling, spreading a little bit of sparkle and love and compassion in the world. And that's not just at home either, it's across the world. So when you're thinking about all of the festivities and all of the excitement over the next few weeks, I suppose think about how what you can do to make this world a more beautiful place, and how you can build connection and share your compassion, your self-compassion for yourself and compassion for others in the world. And if we all just done a little tiny bit, the world would be a more beautiful place. So I'll be back next week for the Christmas Gen Talk special, and I'll be announcing some amazing news for the Wellbeing Network and from other exciting opportunities happening next year. But for now, enjoy your time just before the madness, the real madness begins. And I look forward to talking to you all again next week. And like always, if you want to connect with me through any of my social medias. You can DM, PM, email, whatever works for you. And I look forward to talking to you. And if this video resonates with you, or there's somebody you think that might enjoy it, send it on to them. And feel free to like and share. I'll talk to you all very soon. Have a great week. Bye for now.